Yo, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good night, good afternoon, whatever time you're watching this. We're back at it with another weekly markup. So, first and foremost, with the weekly markup, I want to go over one trade that I'm currently in, which is why I didn't do a weekly markup for UJ because I'm still holding. Well, actually, H4 H1 it's bearish, so let me just update this. I just realized because it was fully bullish, but price already flipped bearish on the daily, and then on the weekly still bullish. On the daily is, I would say, the bullish turning bearish. Alright, so I just want to go over this trade. As you can see, I'm still in this trade. I secured most of it. I've been making some withdrawals, but happens to the trade history, we've been having we had a really good week. As you can see, we had a huge win on US oil. You can see $50, $26, and this is all from risking a 0.02, 0.03, so it was like, well, I think it was like 300 pips. Let me see, it might have been more. Yep, 300 pips. Wait, no, that might have been an SPX. So US oil, yes, 334 pips. And then we got in on the buy, 74 pips. And then we took a loss on SPX. We gave away back 300 pips, which was this one, I believe. But I mean, it was just giving some profit back with proper good risk to reward because I closed the position. But the main trade right now is USDJPY. So I saw, let me go into the full screen. Obviously on H4 you can see previous strong area of supply got tested for the first time, and I got into the trade while price was still ranging, and then I stayed in the trade, and price didn't drop till, did it drop on Friday or on Thursday? It dropped on Thursday, and then I secured at 43 pips most of the position and left that 0.01 running because this could literally still go for 500 pips. 0.01, 500 pips to obviously to this. If price tests 160 again, as you can see, it already tested it. So if it tests it again, more than likely we're just gonna keep on creating lower highs off of it and continue melting. And this could actually give us another position below 160. And then from 160 we could definitely see the drop to 158, because obviously at 158 we have a pretty strong area of supply and demand. But I mean, at 158, if price doesn't give us a nice retracement or a nice pullback, we could definitely see it continuing to the downside, and this could be a higher time frame trade, obviously. So that's why I'm still holding my bias on these sales. So now we could officially get into the weekly markup. So let's get into NZDCAD. Monthly bullish, weekly bullish, daily bullish, H4 H1 bullish. Faith over fear. Still ready today. Normally I've been waiting on doing the weekly markup after the market opens, but today we were able to do it early. So actually I did the weekly markup yesterday, but we're doing I did the full chart up yesterday, so we're doing the weekly markup today. So NZDCAD, and actually, you know what? We could even go over US oil, because obviously I have never traded US oil like that, like I did these past few trades. And look at this, the structure on US oil is insane. It respects key levels perfectly. Look at these key levels: 86,500, 91. This is where we took the sales below. And then this is where we had taken the buys, and that was a 70 pip buys, and then we had taken another trade somewhere right here, but I totally missed out on these buys right here, and then I totally missed out on these sales right here. But now this zone is strong on the 15 minutes. So now we could definitely see price maybe pull back into 86,500 and give us a retest, something like this, and continue back down. I mean, we are above support right now. So, but then this is also another. We could probably stretch this from here to here. So price could do two things here on US oil. We could probably come back, test these lows, and continue back up. Or if it does not do that first, come back down to 86,500 and then come back down again. So right now it's just ranging. Look at this range. So we could actually, clearing these lows first would actually make sense. And we would be coming back to test this low, previous strong area of demand. We hop back up and then we continue to the upside to 86.5, and then in 86.5 we could have a potential opportunity like this, or a potential opportunity like this. And actually, I would have still been in my sales if I would have held them, but my full TP got hit for 300 pips and it closed fully. Look at this. I would have still been in the trade for 590 pips. You know what? As long as your analysis is on right and the trade was profitable, you should be fine. What the fuck? Alright, so now let's get into NZDCAD. I just wanted to go over US oil. And then another thing that I saw was that SPX negatively correlates US oil, which is weird. So we're buying SPX, we're selling US oil. So now let's get into NZDCAD. You always want to start up your top-down analysis on the monthly. You hop down from the monthly to the lower time frames. So obviously from the monthly you could already see we were bearish, fully bearish, and then price tested 0.78,500 and failed to keep on breaking lows. And then it respected this bullish trend, and then we also have a bullish engulfing candle above 0.80, which 0.80 is another huge strong area of supply and demand. But now price is also rejected below 0.82,500, which has as well been a previous area of supply and demand. Now we hop into the weekly. You can see on the weekly, bullish trend, bullish engulfing candle, and a higher low. But price is still rejected below 0.82,500. But if you can see, price tested 0.8500 and it respected it as demand. So you can see it better on the daily, and it's actually here, right here. So we had strong buys above here. Price tested it again. What is it gonna do? All that I could do, it's either gonna buy back up or we're gonna sell below, back down. That's it. You could only buy or sell or range, but you don't want to enter the trade when price is ranging. So price respected the buys. Now we flipped back bullish, and then look, we even created a higher low here as it tested these lows. And then we broke some structure. The only thing now is that our next structure point is this zone. Supply, demand, supply. What is price gonna do when it tests it? We have to wait for the reaction. This could happen, as well as this could happen. So we have good potential opportunities to the upside, 75 pips, to the downside, 100 pips. So we just have to wait for price to react to the zone. That is it. For now, on the monthly we're bullish, the weekly we're bullish, the daily we're bullish. We were flipping bearish after this. We were flipping bearish after not breaking highs above 0.82,500, and then the bearish engulfing candle, another lower high here. But we flipped back bullish after price failed to keep on breaking lows below 0.8500, and then we have a daily bullish engulfing candle and then we had first we had the higher low, and then we had the daily bullish engulfing candle. So now the next important thing is how is price going to react to this area of supply and demand, which is at 0.81,700. So all we have to do is wait for the market to open and see what price does at this zone. This will most likely happen during Asian session or Sydney session, probably Asian session. So now let's get into USDCAD. You could pause and read it. Monthly bullish, weekly bullish, daily bullish, each word showing bullish. USDCAD correlating with USDCAD with NZDCAD. So you always want to start off from the monthly. So we were bearish. Wait, are we fully bullish already? Yes, we are. So we're fully bullish. I kind of wanted to say that we're bearish turning bullish, but we are bullish already. Well, honestly, you know what? Yes, honestly, we are bullish. Why? Because we are above 139. Do we have a weekly bullish engulfing candle on the weekly? Yes, we do. So you can see weekly bullish engulfing candle on the weekly time frame above 139. Why is that important? Because 139 happens to be a previous strong area of supply and demand. As you can see, previous strong area of supply, previous strong area of demand, previous strong area of supply, previous strong area of supply, demand. This demand wasn't really that strong, but who knows if now this one will be strong. So price right now has the opportunity to keep on flying for 600 pips. We have to remember that. So now what happened to on the monthly we were bearish, but then price tested 135,500 and failed to keep on breaking lows. Now how this monthly closes is going to be important, because if this monthly closes above 139 with a bullish engulfing candle, it definitely will signify that price will continue to the upside to 146. But we don't want to see over bullish is definitely price to come back down and then this close as a rejection. But I doubt that happens now because of the weekly bullish engulfing candle, us breaking some structure. Now let's see on the daily. Look, on the daily we're still above this previous area of supply, and then you can see I already got tested and it didn't have any strength. And then this is on the daily, a bullish engulfing candle and a higher low above 139. So now price literally looks like it's gonna fly to the next target, which is this zone right here, another previous area of supply and demand. So now actually we have clear buys for 157 pips. Even if when the market opens, look at this. This could actually be a good trade. Fuck, but you're risking 130 pips to make 140 pips. The risk to reward is not there. And I do not want my stop loss here because this is very vulnerable being hit. Especially look at this. We have a 1 hour area of demand. So price literally could come back down here and continue back to the upside. So actually, you know what? I am not gonna take these buys right away when the market opens, but I'm going to watch this trade because this could be a really good opportunity here. All we have to do is for price to react to this zone, and we have to remember that people are putting their stop losses below here, or even if they are already in buys, they have their stop losses at entry or at break even. And this is a previous strong area of demand that broke structure. So now we have to wait for price to retest it. If it does retest it, if it doesn't, it's going to continue buying. And we just have to wait for the next level, which is this zone right here, previous area of supply and demand at 141. So on the weekly, you can already see we're bullish. Weekly bullish engulfing candle above 139. On the daily, bullish engulfing candle and a higher low above 139. Support respected above 135,500. And then this looks like it's finally got a bullish engulf above this zone as well. On the 4 hour we already did it. See, bullish engulfing candle, higher lows. I would not sell till price breaks below 139. So unless price breaks below 139, we're bullish, fully bullish. So now let's get into the next one. GJ, monthly bullish, weekly bullish, daily bullish, turning bearish, H4, H1 bearish. So you always want to start from the top down analysis on the monthly. You can see prices overall fully bullish. Support respected, bullish engulfing candle above previous strong area of supply, turned into new area of demand, previous strong area of supply at 208, bullish engulfed and turned into a higher low, which is the strong area of demand. And now price is respecting or rejecting below 215, which is, look, a previous huge strong area of supply. And then this drop happened to happen in 2008 when all of the crashes went down. And we're literally right at that zone again. And price already tested it once and it didn't have any strength. As you can see, price tested 215 only to create a higher low above 208. So that already is showing that sellers are not strong. More than likely, we are going to break 215, retest it as demand, and continue to the upside. That's what I think might happen, right? Higher time frame wise, I would not be bearish till we break below 208. Right, so on the monthly we're still bullish. On the weekly we're still bullish. And then on the daily I believe that's where we're bullish turning bearish. Daily bullish turning bearish. Obviously you can already start seeing some sellers momentum. Bearish engulfing candle below 215. And then price respected the bullish uptrend, came back up to 215 to test it, only to create a lower high and then a double top and then a lower bearish engulfing candle below 215. And now we're creating even more lower highs below 215. This is already starting to look like price is gonna come back to the downside. But we could also get faked out and price could give us something like this. This could totally happen at any point in time. So that's why we have to wait for the reactions. No, we have to wait for price to do its thing and then we have to react. Right, so right now this is what I'm waiting for right here. So how is price going to react when it tests this zone on a 1 hour previous area of supply and demand, right? So we had demand here, supply below. What is it going to do when price tests it? All we have to do is just wait. It's literally the market is a fractal. The best point to be in sales would have been right here, because we already had a lower high and then we had a break of structure. You can see below 215 with the bearish engulfing candle. All price did was come test it and then boom, the melt happened right away. We could have actually still been in the trade. So definitely all we have to see is, all we have to wait for is how is price going to react to this zone right here. And this could be another potential entry. For me to sell, you would obviously need the bearish engulfing candle below and then the lower high. And for you to buy, you would obviously need the reaction, instant reaction, and then some higher lows. And your first target would be 215, which is 40 pips. For the sales, first target would be 60 pips, which both of them would be actually good trades for Sunday. For the daily, bullish turning bearish, and then the H4, H1, we're already bearish, right? Simply because of this information right here. Even though these are still some higher lows, but these are lower highs over here. And break of structure, this is a lower high as well. So now, GBPUSD, I think this is last but not least, right? Because we went over UJ. We're still in that trade. So GBPUSD monthly bullish, weekly bullish, turning bearish, daily bearish, H4 H1 bearish range. So GBPUSD, hop onto the monthly. can see, we're kind of ranging between 137 and 132. So we've been hopping back and forth, as you can see, between 137 and 132, which is weird, a monthly range. But on the monthly range is good because you can make money off of the test of each zone. So on the monthly, we're bullish. So even we're actually in line to put bullish range because it's a bullish range. And then on the weekly, we're bullish turning bearish. Yeah, so actually I'm gonna change. So monthly, alright, so monthly bullish range, because we're obviously ranging between 132 and 137. And then on the weekly, we were bullish here, as you can see. Price tested in this area, which is 136, right below 137, and then we had the instant reaction to the downside with a huge bearish engulfing candle, as you can see. Huge bearish engulfing candle that broke structure after failing to keep on breaking highs above 137. So on the weekly, we're bullish turning bearish, and then on the daily we're bearish. As you can see, this previous zone, which is 136,500, tested perfectly. Previous strong area of supply, tested, and then instantly respected. Right now we're still creating lower highs. We did create a daily double bottom here, but look at this. These are still lower highs. On the 4 hour, on the 4 hour, it's a bearish range as well. But even though I would say on the 4 hour we're bearish turning bullish. Well, actually, that's on the daily. On the daily we're bearish, but on the 4 hour, because obviously the double bottom, and then the break of structure here, and the higher low that came back, price came back to get tested and respected it. But now we're ranging, so it would be H4, H1, bearish turning bullish with range. But you know what? I'm just gonna keep it as bearish because price is ranging, and if it does break above these highs, then we are back bullish. Something like this. But if we do come to test this zone again, it will mean that this will really be a lower high, and we're gonna keep on creating lower highs until we break the zone to come back down to test 132. And we don't even have to come back down all the way to 132. We just have to come down to this zone over here, because this is a strong, huge strong area. Look at this. We actually started from here. So an H4 strong area of demand that broke structure, as you can see. And actually that makes sense for price to come back down and test this zone, and then we have the buys. Something like this. So actually that's why we're still bearish. So until we break this structure here with the bullish engulfing candle and a higher low, we're bearish. So now all we have to do is just wait for price to either do the break of structure above here, create the higher low and continue to the upside, or for price to continue to create higher lows, lower highs, my mistake, to test this zone, and then we maybe have the instant reaction to the upside. And if that doesn't happen, then price is just gonna keep on continue breaking lows and we get into some sales. But I truly believe that these buys are gonna happen. It's just that price needs to cook a little bit more, or basically create more liquidity, right? Drive more sellers into the market, for then price to come test this zone, and then boom, we have the instant push back to the upside. I think that was it, right? Peace and love to anybody watching this. I command you health, wealth, knowledge, wisdom for your entire family. Peace and love. Back to work.